gave his life so someone else could live.
You might not want to take off your coat just yet. DC just flashed us a priority 1 alert. And also this tape of a 911 call.
What do they mean, eviscerate?
I guess to remove the viscera.
I know the definition, George. I'd like details. Get back on the horse, see what they left out.
Got it. How do you want to deploy?
Grayson signed with me, John to the hospital. Marcus can fill in the blanks on the victim, Joseph Lefferts. You sure this is all they sent?
Some of the confusion may come from the source. You notice who signed the order?
Yeah. Art Behar. George, find out why it says the scene is a motel and the hospital. Hope to God they didn't move the body. Morning, Lou.
So, what brings the FBI out this early?
DC kicked this one over to us. Any conclusions?
Sure. My conclusion is if you want to take a case off my plate, you're welcome to it. Take a look. I'm assuming the victim was the guy named on the 911 call, Joseph Lefferts. Well, I checked his pockets, no ID. The manager rented the room to a guy named John Smith. He's had 8 John Smiths this week alone. But this one was driving a black van. I had him look. This wasn't the guy.
Sam, surgical equipment.
Not much bleeding.
He packed the wound. Prior to my post-mortem, I'd say that the killer clamped the main blood vessels like a surgeon would.
This wasn't surgery. It was murder.
I don't think that's how the killer sees it. In the 911 tape, he described the victim as resting, not dead.
He also wanted the operator to read the message back, make sure she got it right. He wanted this body to be found. He was concerned.
He showed a lot of compassion. Left a flower, wrapped the body in a child's blanket.
Maybe it's some kind of bizarre medical deal? Alternative or underground surgery?
All I know is it's the second one like this in 2 days. This time he took the guy's liver.
How do you know that?
Well, at 2:30, this guy's liver was transplanted into a boy named Jimmy Driscoll in Atlanta Medical Center. Thought y'all knew. I found a consent form in his hand, giving permission for the surgery.
Get me Atlanta Medical Center.
Do you think it was possibly a black market deal?
The parents paid to have him killed so their son could have a liver?
It has been known to happen.
South America and China, but I don't recall any cases in the U.S.
If it was for money, why call 911? Why leave a consent form and flowers?
Besides, if it was black market, the body'd never be found.
You guys hear about the transplant?
We heard. Where's the evidence?
The liver's inside the patient room 304, Jimmy Driscoll. The rest of it, it's in here.
Find Jimmy Driscoll's parents, see what they know. I'll catch up to you.
NOPA. That would be the National Organ Procurement Agency, a federally designated agency responsible in all 50 states for providing human organs for transplant.
How did all this get here?
The courier first messenger delivered the liver in this box at approximately 2:15. 911 call came at 2:30 from a payphone 6 blocks away. Transplant started shortly after. Everything normal and above board.
Well, except the donor was killed in a cheap motel across town.
Not according to NOPA's computer. Their files listed the victim as a traffic fatality from Raleigh, but Career First said the messenger wasn't their guy.
No surprise. So, cuts out the liver, brings it here. Times the 911 call, so by the time the cops find the body and trace the release, surgery's already underway.
2 nights ago. Exactly the same thing at Children's Memorial. This is very nice work. Nothing to suggest any of it is phony.
We got lithoforms and CR duplicates. It's not hard to counterfeit.
I can understand counterfeiting money or credit cards, but duplicating medical records, where's the profit?
It's not about money.
So why didn't Nova tell us about the first one when it happened?
Probably panic, mixed with denial. If this keeps up, no one will trust their system. And the people who need transplants will die.
You're accusing us of buying this liver on the black market, aren't you? No, we're not. We're just trying to find out what happened. Now, how long has Jimmy been waiting for a donor?
19 months. He's type AB negative. I'd almost given up hope.
AB negative. Chances are slim you get a liver in time.
Very. His body would reject all but 1 out of 1,500.
So no one approached you and tried to get you to circumvent the NOPA system?
No. Listen, I am sorry that man is dead, but my son is alive. If we would have known who to pay, we would have paid any price to anyone. That said, it didn't happen. My husband and I had nothing to do with this.
The red lotus. That's a very unusual flower. Do you know who sent that?
I'm not sure. Jimmy has lots of friends.
All right.
Excuse me. My son needs me.
Thank you.
Hey.
Sharon.
Hey, sweet cheek, see if someday I don't surprise you and buy you a bottle of real perfume.
I've got plenty of perfume, Louis. Just no place to wear it.
Planning the trip?
I wish. Hey, when's the new stuff coming in?
Tomorrow night.
Will you save it for me?
Always do.
You're the best. See you later, alligator.
See you.
In a while. Crocodile. Joseph Lefferts was the second case of, let's call it organ theft, in the last 48 hours. Not knowing we'd be involved, Atlanta PD closed the first crime scene.
In both cases, the killer showed care and concern, suggesting that the killing was the means to an end.
Both were transplant donors. Both were traced to the organ recipients by release forms left in their hands.
And both bodies were also located in cheap motels on the south side strip after nearly identical 911 calls. And the cattle checked into both rooms, paid cash, and drove a black van.
Okay. Since his scene's intact, let's focus on Joseph Lefferts. Miss.
In my opinion, whoever cut on Lefferts has a practiced surgical hand. For one thing, removing the liver didn't kill him.
His death was painless, though, right?
Right. An injection of phenobarbital to the heart after the operation.
He didn't want him to suffer or linger.
And despite doing it in a motel, he took great care to disinfect the surgical area. The harvested liver had no contaminants.
He wanted the transplant to be a success. Killing Lefferts may be an unfortunate necessity that he regrets.
This is a new one. I mean, you've got a murder, but not exactly cold-blooded. And someone even wound up better off from it.
How do you hack into the NOPA computer?
It wasn't hard. It's only level 2 security, no encryption. It's just never meant to prevent something like this. Okay, we might have a Lefferts ID. I wrote a program to automatically keep track of all the missing persons reports in the U.S. Yep. Joseph Lefferts, a 42-year-old high school gym teacher from Indianapolis, missed work yesterday. Police rolled on his house. He's gone. They locked up and left.
Indianapolis. Why grab him there, take him all the way to Atlanta? That must be what?
That'd be 433 miles.
Guy didn't pay the electrical bill.
Doesn't matter now, does it?
What is it?
Tranquilizer dart. Must have ripped it out before he collapsed.
It doesn't exactly square with the idea of this guy using kid gloves, does it?
I think that his original plan was to subdue Leffitz while he slept. On a sedative or something.
Then why'd he tear up the room?
I don't think he meant to. The floor lamp over here by the closet. I think that he was hiding inside the closet until Leffitz fell asleep. Must have tripped in the dark.
The dart gun was plan B.
He didn't want to inflict pain. He sees himself as doing good.
Yeah, well, I'd hate to be around when this cat's feeling nasty.
Leffitz was AB negative. Perfect match for Jimmy Driscoll.
We still don't know why he's doing this.
Well, if it isn't for money and he doesn't know the recipient, then I don't think he's going to stop. I think more people are going to die.
Yeah, but if the doc keeps doing the transplants, more people are going to live. And there's your irony.
Yeah, but Nope is already cracking down. He knows it'll be harder next time you sneak an organ through.
Well, sooner or later, if we don't catch this guy, won't they have to shut down?
We better find him. Put him out of business before more innocent people start dying.
The NOPA system is set up to match people who need transplants with donor organs as soon as they become available. Minutes count. Sacramento notified the system an hour ago they had a donor. They found a tissue match to a recipient in L.A.
These two cases, the organs just showed up at the hospitals.
Well, that should be easy enough to catch.
Will be now. NOPA's modified its computer to spot a ringer.
But by that time, somebody else will be dead. This is the first case I've ever worked on where the murderer killed someone so that someone else might live. It sort of throws precedent out the window.
How?
Well, normally when you start a killer's profile, you try to get to know the victim. But these donors are just unfortunate casualties. Saving the recipient is the real goal here.
So if he hits again, he'll have to match up another pair, the next victim and the next recipient.
And he's gonna have to find the recipient before the donor. That's how we may get this guy. Grace, what exactly does he have to match?
Body weight, organ weight, tissue, and blood.
And how's he do that?
Well, we're trying to find that out. John, you and Marcus coordinated stakeout with the Atlanta PD. So far, he's used motels on the same funky strip. Let's build a haystack. George, since the killer has a high degree of surgical skills, generate a list of all surgeons between the ages of 30 and 80, retired or otherwise.
I don't know any surgeons who would risk losing their license to perform an illegal transplant.
Money talks.
Well, this isn't about money, though. There's no black market. Nobody got paid.
There's a hit. Another hospital in Atlanta just received a donor organ not in the system. This time, it's a heart. But it's AB negative, like Leffitz and Driscoll.
That's our man.
Lincoln Medical.
Shut it down. Let's stop the transplant.
Bailey, the heart has already been delivered. The donor is dead.
You think there should be a transplant?
Morally, no. But at least let the recipient live.
I assume none of you condone what this killer is doing.
I don't condone it. But Grace is right. I mean, there's already been a murder. You might as well let this poor Joe live.
If this guy finds out we won't stop the transplants, then what's to keep him from killing again? It's murder.
Mercedes Lozano is AB negative, which is why she's been on a waiting list for more than 30 months. Hola.
Buenos días.
Excuse us. Mrs. Lozano? We're with the FBI. Grace.
Cálmese. Todo está bien.
Grace, our guy has prior knowledge of the recipients. He's doing it for them, so he might want personal contact. Can you ask her mother if there were any strangers or if she or her daughter noticed anything unusual?
¿Noto algo inusual unas semanas antes de la cirugía?
Mercedes tenía mucho miedo de morir, pero un día ella muy calmada dijo que ella iba a estar bien.
In the beginning, she was very terrified of dying, and then suddenly she became very peaceful, and she told everyone that she was going to be okay.
Pero ella estaba diferente después de la cirugía. Hasta pidió cerveza.
And then when Mercedes woke up, the first thing she asked for was a beer.
Beer?
Yeah, she had never had one before, but it's not uncommon for transplants. It's cellular memory. Likes, dislikes, all kinds of things from the donor. We don't understand it yet.
Does she know who brought the flower?
My angel gave it to me.
Your angel? Wait, did you see your angel?
Told me not to be afraid. Said a man was going to give me his heart. He said to thank Mike.
What did your angel look like? I mean, was he like a dream or was he real? I mean, could you touch him?
No. He touched me. He's held my hand and told me everything was going to be okay.
Mercedes, we would really like to draw a picture of your angel. Do you think that you could tell some of our people what he looked like? Did he bring the flower the same day?
No. It was here when I woke up. But I know he brought it. I just do.
Okay. Gracias. Gracias.
Thank you.
The sutras say that the lotus has 4 virtues: loveliness, softness, purity, and scent. More interesting than that, though, is that it is the only flower that perpetuates its own life as it blossoms. That's how our guy sees his victims. That's why he said that they were resting. He does not see them as dying. They're bearing fruit, continuing to live after their organs have been passed on.
Tell that to his victims.
The director got a wake-up call at 1:30 this morning from the Secretary of Health and Human Services. There's concern over this body parts situation.
I'd say that's a healthy response.
Well, somebody got into Nopa's computer.
And you knew that before we got to the crime scene. Why didn't you include it in your flash report?
Sensitive stuff. Nopa's system is supposed to be fail-safe.
I understand the politics. What I don't understand is you're withholding case information from the BCTF. You sent us into battle wearing blinders.
I'd be more worried about your own job if I were you. I'm not obligated to give you these, but if you want the blinders off, so be it.
What's this?
FBI internal investigation. I had nothing to do with it, but it's nearly finished. It goes on the director's desk in 72 hours. Personally, I hope you go to prison. Either way, your ass is out of here.
Mom, can I talk to you?
Sure, sweetie, what do you want to talk about?
I don't want to talk to you. I need to.
Okay.
Promise you won't worry?
I promise, no. What's on your mind?
I'm sure it's nothing, but I know I'm supposed to tell you something whenever I see anything weird.
Right.
Well, today at school, I saw this guy taking my picture.
Are you sure that he was taking pictures of you, Chloe?
Mom, I wouldn't bring it up if I wasn't sure.
Okay. What did he look like?
It was kind of hard to see him because the camera was over his face.
What, was he young or was he old?
He was around your age. I guess you would consider that young.
Chloe, have you ever seen him before?
No.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. All right, it's gonna be okay, all right? I'm gonna take care of it, all right?
Mrs. Bernard, did Agent Malone ever threaten you?
He only told me that, as an informant, that I had to be careful, and that
Maybe Behar dummied with the tape.
Well, it doesn't look altered.
that could get me killed.
And it was at this point that you started having sex with him?
That's correct, on several occasions.
I talked to this woman once.
What does it say in here? How you met her in the first place?
Veronica Bernard was an informant on the DiCarlo investigation. She wanted protection, but she didn't have anything for us. I never saw her again, never touched her. Can't believe internal affairs brought this complete fuck up.
It's obviously a setup. We find her, bust her story, into problem.
She's not the problem.
Behar?
He still blames me for his marriage going down the toilet. Somehow he rigged this whole thing.
We got 48 hours before you have to explain it to the director. Maybe it goes to Behar, maybe it doesn't.
It's a twisted kind of payback.
I'm gonna take the video to George, see if it's been edited.
Malone.
Hi, Billy, it's Sam. Do you have a minute?
Sam, what's wrong?
Well, yesterday Chloe said that she saw some man taking pictures of her after school.
Any substance to it?
I don't know. Her escort said that they didn't see anything, but I don't think that Chloe would make something up like this.
Okay, we'll double the surveillance on her in the firehouse.
Well, I don't want to scare her.
I understand, son. We'll play deep, several teams. If he surfaces again, we'll smother him. We'll protect her, Sam. Between us, we won't let her out of our sight.
Okay. All right, thanks.
You better let me handle it. This is the kind of place where they give you the key through bulletproof glass.
Man, on my side of Chicago, we call this a 5-star resort. You better let me handle this.
Hope you got reservations. Rooms are at a premium.
Parking lot's empty, man.
Got a convention coming to town, okay?
We don't need a room. We need to ID a guy driving a black van.
How many drivers come through here in black vans?
Well, the one we're looking for is checking into places like this and killing people in ways you wouldn't want to think about.
What do you mean, places like this?
Look, man, the last 2 murders were less than a mile from here, and they haven't sliced up any hotel managers yet.
What my partner means is we'd appreciate it if you could keep an eye out for anybody suspicious, black van or no black van, and give us a call.
At your earliest convenience. We've got cars in the area.
And if you call us right away, maybe we'll get here in time.
Where have you been?
Nowhere.
Come here. I said, where have you been? Look at me. Look at me. You don't want me to worry now, do you?
No. Not for nothing.
But when is nothing really something?
Luis Lozano called him her angel. Angel of death, more like it. This guy keeps rewriting the book. Arsonists like to watch. Killers visit the graves. This guy, he kills a specific person to save another person's life, and then goes to visit them.
He has a need to see, even touch the life he's made possible. He came to see her, told her to thank Mike.
I'm searching for donors or even doctors and NOPA officials named Mike or Michael, but nothing so far.
Why come to Atlanta at all? Why not just do it in Indianapolis?
He has roots here. Something important happened to him here?
George and I spent most of the day following the blood.
And we think we found out how he's picking his victims.
Run it down.
Okay, we know that all the subjects are AB negative, right? Rarest of the rare. He probably got the recipient's blood type from NOPA's database, but how did he put his victim's blood together with the recipient's?
None of the victims were in the military, nor were any of their blood types in their personal medical files, but then we thought maybe they were blood donors.
So we generated this list of everyone from Indianapolis who gave blood this year to, like, wholesalers, charities like the Red Cross, employer drives.
1 week before he was murdered, Joseph Lefferts gave blood at a big school blood drive. And Austin Milena gave blood at work. The same volunteer phlebotomist drew blood from both.
He registered as one Dr. Miles Garcia. We couldn't find any Dr. Garcia anywhere, but he had all the blood he drew tested by listing these people as his patients.
6 AB negative donors, and already 3 of them are dead.
He could have more. He could have done this in another city under another name.
The 3 we know about get 24-hour protection. Okay, we made a start on Dr. Garcia's shopping list. Now let's find them.
Hey, you want to let me in? Man, it's raining out here. This is a fine strip of the South. A veritable cornucopia of seedy motels in 2 short miles. Makes a man homesick.
Over 40, and we've only got 10 cars. We can't cover it all. What is this?
Well, they didn't have herbal tea, so I got you cocoa. You said you didn't want coffee, right? I don't understand that anyway, because coffee is good for you.
It'll ruin your kidneys if you drink it all night.
Oh, yeah.
A guy like you should cut down on caffeine anyway.
You mean a guy like me?
I mean, you're a little jumpy, that's all.
I mean, I'm not jumpy. I'm alert. Hell, you should be drinking more caffeine. Always the last out the door. answering the phone in the third ring. Well, let's just go. Peyton, done. The hotel manager at the Raindrop spotted a black van. Well, come on, let's go. Try not to drive like an old lady. Yeah, this is Peyton and Grant. We're on site.
Room 18.
Now, can we get some more backup here?
You're jumping the gun.
Hey, hey!
The four of us can't cover all the exits!
Get your hands up!
What's going on?
Adele, who are you? Wrong party.
God! Well, did you please put that down?
Across the courtyard! Hey! Freeze! 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 FBI! FBI!
Officer down!
John, give me the paramedics.
How are you, Johnny?
Never been better, Lou. He was really out of it. Had me worried you had a weak constitution or something, man.
They told me we hit.
Yeah, what a trank dart.
Uniforms rushed the wrong room. My guys were running the show, Lou.
No time he was about to cut. It was a judgment call.
Bad judgment. What about the van?
Stolen. He ditched it in the supermarket parking lot and roosted a car.
Yeah. The last guy who almost got fully was Matt Horahan from Indianapolis. He was all prepped to lose a kidney, man.
Last thing he remembered was turning out the light in his bedroom at home.
Gave blood last week. Said the guy who took it got really pissed when he didn't sign up for the program and checked the organ donor card.
Let's get out of here.
Hey, easy, man. You're not as strong as you look. Good thing you had that cocoa.
How are you going to read all these over the weekend, Chloe?
Well, you don't have to read all of them. I mean, just parts.
So many, they're heavy.
Well, I could use the internet.
No. I don't think I want you surfing the net this year. Maybe next year, okay? Okay.
Well, I need a time machine.
All right, so go ahead.
So the guy again.
Where, Chloe?
Over there by the building.
Let's go!
Over by the building. Behind me. Behind the car. Lie down, Chloe. Down, Chloe. On the back.
I just talked to some of my buddies at Quantico. Off the record, they say the internal affairs investigation on me looks pretty solid.
So she's a hell of an actress.
Track it down, get her to crack wide open.
It's not gonna happen, Bailey. She's dead. Veronica Bernard, born April 9, 1962, died January 4, 1998. She died in an abandoned house fire in Birmingham with 3 other homeless people.
She laid in the Birmingham morgue for 3 days as Jane Doe. Why?
Took that long for the AFIS fingerprint computer to ID her.
I guess she won't be doing any recounting. Just my word against the dead woman's. Why'd she lie?
Money, maybe. But if she was being paid, she wouldn't be homeless.
Well, she didn't look homeless on that tape. When I talked to her, she was certain she was going to be killed. Maybe she started running.
You said she was asking for protection. Maybe Behar said he'd fix it for her.
If he'd given her a new identity, she wouldn't have wound up a Jane Doe.
The funny thing about that is, AFIS first bounced her back as unknown, then a day later, they matched the prints to Veronica Bernard. I could start there.
Like you, John, but you've got enough to do around here without fighting my battles.
But Bailey,
I'll handle it.
Okay.
Of the 6 people on the killer's list who had AB negative, you're the only one who signed the donor card. Now, 3 men who didn't are dead, and 1 very nearly.
Well, of course I signed. He was quite a salesman, kept talking about it, kept saying what a beautiful thing it is that somebody else is going to go on living after I'm dead just because I signed some card.
Rose? Did he look anything like this?
Hardly. He had the ER thing over his mouth, these magnifying glasses. Might as well have been wearing a gas mask. What's up with him anyway?
Well, I'm really not sure. He seems to be targeting people with your rare blood type.
You want to know what was really irritating about him? After I signed, he got so nice.
Well, thank you very much for coming in, Mrs. Steele. We'll escort you back to Indianapolis. We're going to keep you under surveillance, though, because there is still a threat on your life.
Thank you very much. Where can I grab a smoke?
All of his victims refused to sign organ donor cards,
You don't donate, you die.
which supports the metaphor of the lotus bearing fruit at the time of its death. In his mind, the people who didn't sign donor cards will never bear fruit.
Unless he kills them, making sure part of them lives. Question is, why does he do it at all? Why only AB negative? Rarest of blood types. Those people most likely to die.
Maybe he feels the same gratitude as the recipients. Maybe he's AB negative and he had an angel named Mike.
Thank Mike, like he told Mercedes. Maybe he's alive because he got a transplant.
From someone named Mike.
Bailey, don't get mad.
Now, when the hell have you ever seen me mad?
And I know you said to stay out of this internal affairs thing, but...
Ah, John.
Your battles are my battles.
And mine.
That's a fact.
Okay. What do you got?
We did some barking up your accuser's family tree, and we found out that Veronica Bernard had a life insurance policy that she took out 10 years ago. Pretty basic, $25,000.
And the benefactor is her sister, who lives in Portland.
It was an old policy. Behar couldn't have rigged it.
We were thinking maybe Behar killed Veronica just to shut her up.
In spite of whatever else he might be, he's not a killer.
And I talked to Birmingham Arson about the fire that killed her, and it was legit.
But we just couldn't get it out of our heads that Veronica's fingerprint check came back negative once.
Only to come back positive a day later.
Like her ID was planted, fingerprints changed.
2 weeks ago, insurance company wired $25,000 to Veronica's sister in Portland.
Then 10 days ago, Veronica's sister wired $10,000 to a bank in Boston.
Two?
We just got the account number. I'll have the owner's identity soon.
Get that ID. Thanks.
Sorry, fella, I'm already closed up.
I know.
What the? Take the cash box. Relax, will you?
She's not yours. Sweet cheeks.
You want to talk to me? And now I can add assault to the list for internal affairs.
This isn't an assault. It's an arrest.
For what?
Suborning, perjury, obstruction of justice, fraud, abuse of authority. And I'm just getting warmed up.
Well, you're crazier than I thought.
You knew Veronica Bernard would lie about me in exchange for protection.
You think anybody's gonna believe that? Everybody knows you can't keep it in your pants.
You switched the fingerprints for a Jane Doe who died in a fire. That way, if anyone made a search on Veronica, she'd show up dead. But you didn't know she had life insurance, did you? The money went to her sister in Portland. But Veronica needed cash to start a new life. So her sister wired 10 grand to a new bank in Boston. Veronica was offered the Real Witness Protection Program to testify against you.
You know, when you took Ellen away from me, I thought I ought to kill you. It seemed too easy. Maybe I was wrong.
You're wrong all over. Like 20 years worth.
This is the artist's sketch of the man Mercedes Lozano said came to see her in the hospital. Took a couple of days to go through all of the hospital security tapes, but here's a video frame of the guy who brought the Lotus to Jimmy Driscoll's room.
Could be a match.
I compared this to photos from NOPA, and I found one recipient in Atlanta with medical credentials who resembles the guy in this picture, Robert Carter.
AB negative?
Mm-hmm. He had a heart transplant 8 years ago at Atlanta Medical.
So Dr. Garcia is really named Robert Carter.
Also, until last year, a veterinarian in Indianapolis.
A vet.
I missed that one.
Not George.
Any mention of a man named Mike in his records?
This one made the news. His brother. He committed suicide.
Michael Carter. Done it for his brother Robert.
Let's call Dr. Reingold at NOPA.
Why are you so sure Carter will surface if I change the priority of someone on the list to critical?
Because this man is very consistent. We know that he's visited both Jimmy Driscoll and Mercedes Lozano in the hospital because he's brought them both red lotus flowers. You see, touching them, giving them hope. Those are both a part of his ritual to heal them.
Since we've frozen the AB negative list, the killer hasn't contacted anyone new.
If you change someone to a 24-hour critical status, there is a very good chance that he'll select them.
And when he comes calling, we'll be there. And when this guy shows up, is everyone clear on their positions?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Visiting hours are over at noon, and this guy knows patients have therapy after that. He's going to show.
Is there any news?
Not yet. This is Andrew and his mother, Minnie. They've allowed his condition to be changed to critical.
Thank you very much for helping us, Andrew.
It's nothing. I've got to be here anyway.
You're a very important part, Andrew. Thank you.
I'm glad I could help.
Do you think after this is over, you could do anything to get Andrew on a priority list?
Repeat that.
Well, we can't promise anything, but we will do all we can.
This may be it. Single male approaching the front door. Let's move.
Can I help you?
I'm here to see Andrew Winslow.
I'm sorry, sir, but the morning visiting hours are over.
It's not 12 o'clock yet. What room is he in?
FBI. Put your flower arrangement down in your hands. Freeze!
Don't move.
Freeze!
Put your gun down, Robert. Put your weapon down.
Drop the gun.
I'll kill myself first.
Hurting yourself isn't part of the plan, Robert.
Then you shoot me and give my heart to Andrew Winslow.
Your brother loved you very much. This is no way to honor his memory.
Better to end my mission of life here and now. I can't help anybody in prison.
Your brother thought that there was only one good heart between the both of you. And he felt that you were the one who could make the best use of it.
He was right. You got 15 minutes to get my heart out of my body or it's no good to anyone.
Call the transplant team, please. Tell them to get ready. Put the gun down.
Do what she said. Call them! If you don't let this happen, you're the ones that will have the blood of Andrew Winslow on your hands. He'll never get another match in time.
You know, I know how much you care about the people you're trying to save. But this is not the way to do it.
There's nothing you can do to stop me.
What if we don't allow the transplant after you kill yourself?
My boy will die if you don't. Call the transplant team. My boy will die if you don't.
Ben? Yeah? We found out Robert Carter was living in a weekly on 7th. Damn good thing we flushed him out when we did. It's okay, you can take a look. They checked for prints.
It's gotta be over 100 names in here.
164 all EB negative from blood drives in Houston and Tampa. He had donors to keep him going for months.
I'm gonna sign Andrew's card. Not everyone else.
Yeah. How's he doing?
He's out of the woods for now. It's a long haul, anti-rejection drugs, all that. He knows he's got the heart of a killer beating inside him.
Well, if you needed one, don't think he'd care whose you had.
You know what I'd love to ask his mother? When Andrew woke up, did he ask for a beer?
So, I have a life too.
A life. I'm your life. Free will went out the window when Eve bit the apple. Sharon. You captured news.